You currently live in California and you're thinking about a move to Idaho. Maybe you've already visited and fell in love with it here, or you've been binging content on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Today, I'm covering what this move actually looks like, the equity shift that makes it possible, the pace change that catches everyone off guard, and the honest adjustments nobody warns you about. And yes, that whole California transplants aren't welcome here topic you may have heard about, because that's a real conversation to have there. And I'm not just speaking to you as a real estate agent who's been in this business for 10 years. I made this move myself over 2 years ago. Let's start with the piece that makes this such a smart move for most people: equity and what it actually buys you here. And here's the thing: a lot of the folks that I work with moving from California to Idaho aren't leaving because they can't afford it. They're doing just fine. But a lot of them are landing in Eagle, Meridian, or Star with budgets anywhere from 700,000 to well over a million. This isn't about escaping to something cheaper. Just to put home prices into perspective, the median home price in Eagle was 999,000 in June, with Meridian and Star in the low to mid 600s. What the equity does in many cases is leave you with little to no mortgage payment at all. And here's the big difference: it's what money buys you in Idaho. Picture selling a home in California, maybe 1,200 to 1,500 square feet on a small lot for over $1 million. You bring that equity here into Idaho for a similar price, sometimes even less. You're looking at a brand new home, well over 2,500 square feet, sitting on anywhere from a quarter acre to a half an acre or more, with at least a two-car garage. Newer construction, more space, more land, more house. It's not about the house. It's what the shift does to your life. Less financial pressure, more flexibility. Your dollar stretches into a completely different lifestyle. I hear this a lot, and it's true. You're not priced out of a good life, you just feel priced out of California. Here's something that catches a lot of people off guard, and it's well after the last box is unpacked. A few weeks or months in, it all catches up to you, and you're feeling homesick. And not for California exactly, but for the familiar: your friends, your routine, knowing where everything is and what to do on a Saturday without even thinking about it. It's a real thing to lose, and nobody warns you that you'll grieve a little. So, the first thing I'll tell you is give yourself some grace. It's normal and it passes. But here's what actually helps: people are genuinely warm and friendly here, but friendships are a two-way street. They're quick to say hello, and you need to put yourself out there too. It won't just happen to you. Get involved. If you've got kids, well, that's your built in door. Activities at their school, other parents, maybe find a church or join a meetup group. Say yes to things and give the pace time to work on you, because it's a total gift. And at first, coming from a place that runs full speed ahead, that can almost feel uncomfortable. But then something shifts and you stop bracing yourself or gripping the wheel anymore. Your evenings come back and your weekends feel like weekends again. So soak it all in. Get outside and explore. Find your new normal, because that's the whole reason that you moved here. All right, let's talk about some things that most people don't put in the brochure, but I'd rather you hear them from me. Wages to start can run lower for the same job here as you would make in California. But if you're bringing a remote position or you're retired, that might be a non issue. Just be sure to dot all your I's and cross your T's with your employer that working remotely in another state is a possibility. If you're job hunting locally, research your field and know all your options ahead of time. And most importantly, speak to a tax professional who can tell you exactly how these changes affect you financially. Then there's the landscape, and it's different. This is high desert. There's sagebrush foothills, big skies, and the river, and it's gorgeous. It's just a different gorgeous than coastal California. And there's no ocean. Sounds obvious, but I've watched people genuinely grieve that they no longer have one. We've got rivers and lakes and reservoirs, and people are on the water constantly. Believe it or not, we've got beaches too, but it just isn't the coast. Then in the winter, we get a gray stretch. It's called an inversion. And in the late summer, we get wildfires and smoke from surrounding states. Definitely something to be mindful of. And because we're not a big metro area, there isn't the nightlife that you might be picturing coming to. None of this is a deal breaker. It's just the honest picture and knowing it is going to make the difference between loving it here and feeling blindsided. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. How welcome will I feel moving from California? Well, here's my honest answer, especially coming from someone who made the move herself. There are some real feelings there, and I understand it. People who grew up here watch their hometown change fast. They've watched prices climb, roads fill up, and some of the kids who can't afford the neighborhood they were raised in. That frustration isn't about you personally, it's about loss, and it's fair. But what I found is that people here are welcoming, and to anyone who shows up wanting to be a part of Idaho and what it has to offer, and not come here to change Idaho. The biggest mistake I see is people arriving without understanding that Idaho isn't California and it lives completely differently. So, if you keep in mind too that every town has its own vibe and its own rhythm, this is exactly why I say explore the lifestyle before you find the house. When you find the town, neighborhood, and community that aligns with you first, the transition becomes so much easier. Quick pause. If this is helping, tap the like button. It really helps people who are planning this move find the video, and hit subscribe so you don't miss when I drop a new video every Thursday. All right, let's keep going. Here's what I actually hear from people 6 months in. Almost nobody talks about the house. They talk about the friends they've made and all the places they've explored and the fact that they feel like they can just breathe. The only regret is not making the move sooner. So, is leaving California for Idaho the right decision for you? That depends on what you actually are looking for. If you want the coast, the energy, and the endless options, you're going to miss it. But if you're craving more space, more time, a slower pace, and a community that truly feels like one, this move can change how your whole life feels. I've put together a free Treasure Valley relocation guide, and it gives you a real clear picture of the top 10 cities and what life looks like living here in Idaho. It's linked right below. And if you'd like to talk through whether this move makes sense for you, reach out anytime. No pressure, just a real conversation. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.